Hey guys, welcome back to Minute Watch, and this is a Mark II Kingston, and this is an awesome watch. Mark II is a boutique company out of the USA run by a gentleman named Bill Yao, and I'm not going to get too much into that company or Bill because there's lots to talk about regarding this watch. I'll post a link in the About section if you want to learn more about the Mark II company. Only 300 of these Kingstons, of these Swiss-made Kingston watches were created, and production of most of the parts, such as the dial and the hands and the case and the bezel, the crown, the crystal, ceased after production. So for the first 100 early adopters, a kit called the Plank Kit was created, and I'll show you that kit later. But basically it was provided for the first 100 people so they could rebuild their watch, or essentially make a new one in case their Kingston got damaged beyond repair or stolen or something. I'll show you the kit later, but it's a fabulous thing that most watch companies don't do, and I wish they did do, because it's just a great thing. So the plank term it pays homage to the US Navy and Coast Guard sailors who were present during a ship's first commission. And those crew members are said to be plank holders or plank owners, and has bragging rights to the ownership of the plank of the main deck. And that's from what I've read anyway, so Wikipedia. The watch itself pays tribute to the 1960s Rolex 6538 and also the 5510 sub, the rare 5510 sub. And Mark II really wanted to get this right. All the dimensions were as accurately done as possible. The lug width, the lug size, the thickness of the case, the angles, the crown, the bezel, the dial, the hands. Probably even the dome of the crystal is just painstakingly done to be probably the best homage to the 6538 and the 5510 that you can possibly get. And I believe they have achieved their goal. The Tudor Black Bay is another great homage to those two watches, but they've gone with a more modern size, bigger size, and it's not quite as close as this watch in terms of being correct. And this is just a glorious watch. Gosh. You see, I'm using a different light now, so the lighting is better. But like, seeing this in person, you just can't understand how great this is. And it is a fabulous watch. This bracelet, this strap is a Boulang & Sons, and this doesn't come with it, obviously. But let me show you what it does come with, the Plank Kit, for those first 100 earlier adopters. So it comes in this cool hard case, and what you get is this is the original bracelet that comes with it, but you get a whole nother bracelet, another case with the 5510 style bezel and crystal. So basically, all you have to do is slap a new ETA movement in it and attach the associated replacement dials and hands, and boom, new watch. So if your Kingston gets stolen or broken beyond repair, you can just get a movement and rebuild it, and you have basically a brand new one. And that's great. It even comes with all the gaskets needed. The gaskets are in here somewhere. There they are. Comes with all the gaskets, the crystal, and the bezel gaskets, and the case back gaskets. It's just a hell of a thing. And it comes with a color correct NATO strap that I believe is the same color as the one used by James Bond in the Bond movies. And it also comes with a spring bar removal tool and hella spring bars, about 1 billion of them. No, there looks like about 8, 7. Oh, there's a whole bunch. There's enough. And of course, there's some instructions and stuff, and an ID card there too. So this is a really cool thing to see, and I really wish more boutique companies would do this. The whole kit, from what I've seen, costed about $900 when it came out, but now the price has gone up quite a bit because this is becoming such a collector's item, and it's no wonder. It's just fantastic. The dial is what makes this watch exceptional. You can clearly see right now that the printing around the markers, the second-hand track, the logos, Kingston, the Mark II, the auto whiting, as well as the hands, they're all painstakingly done in gilt printing, and it's just ridiculously nice. It catches your eye in such a favorable way that it looks great. They're not applied markers, you know. They don't have these stainless steel surrounds. They just have this fantastic gilt printing. Let me see if I can get a nice angle. There you go. See, you know what? I have a great idea. I'm gonna bust out my Tiger concept. This is on the opposite end of the spectrum, and the Tiger concepts, they're doing some good stuff though. They're getting better and better and better. So I'm watching that company, but here's my Tiger concept versus this wonderful Kingston, and you can see that difference between in the glare. One's AR coated and one's not. This is not AR coated. This is AR coated. But look at the dial of this much more affordable Tiger concepts. Now you see how it doesn't shimmer. You just see it. It's just there collecting light. And while I really love this Tiger concepts watch, look at the way that the Kingston reflects light. I mean, you can see, right? You can see that it's reflecting. You can see how it's just brilliant, and up very close. I don't know if I can get it. Yeah, look at that. It is just this camera is just not catching it the way that the human eye can catch it. It's just a hell of a thing. And Mark II paid a lot of attention to that situation, and it's just great. So let's see what else here. Gosh, everything is just really nice. I'm like awestruck every time I see this watch. The second hand, that's about the only thing that the owner of this watch, my buddy who let me borrow this for a couple days, told me that is different. The second-hand lollipop is smaller on this Kingston than on the 6538. That one has a bigger lollipop. So that's one of the things that's just not quite there, but that's such a small little nuance of this watch. This thing is just fantastic. The movement is an ETA 2836-2 Elabor grade and has been rhodium plated and highly decorated with Geneva stripes in the rotor and decorated bridges. Features an Incablock shock protection and hackable seconds and manual winding, so which is what you can expect from an ETA movement. The case is polished on the lugs, satin finished and polished on the sides and uses 316L stainless steel with drilled lugs, just like the watches that this pays tribute to. So easily done and very functional and beautiful. It's just like this is like buying, like if you're gonna buy a car, like the perfect car, like you could associate this with like something like a I don't know. That's all subjective. Like I was gonna say a BMW M3, one of the, like a couple generations ago, that nice blue one, just perfectly done, like just great in every single way. And this is what I think about this watch. It's great in every single way. It even fits good. Let me put it on my wrist here, and I have a tiny little wrist, 6.5 inches now. It's because I've lost some weight due to my diet of eating only vegetables and meat, which is actually I'm really enjoying because I'm cooking them up in some really interesting ways. So here you go. Here's my little wrist, and it looks, I think it looks great. You know, I mean, if you can find this watch, and if you're gonna buy it and you have a little wrist, this will be perfect. It sits relatively thin on your wrist, unlike some of the newer style Rolexes, which are kind of thick. And it's this one sits really, it's oh, I love it so much. It's so nice. I may actually get one of their newer models, just because they do such a good job on their watches. Ah, gosh, okay. So the crystal is a double dome, very gently AR coated sapphire, and you can see just a little bit of the AR coating, not too much. You can see, look at the difference in the way the light reflects off the black bezel and the crystal. You can see just there's a slight blue tinge around the edges too, so there's a very slight AR coating, and that's cool because you want to see that dial really well. What else? There's a 60 click unidirectional bezel with that red triangle, like in the 6538. But again, you can put the other bezel on that'll make it look like the super rare 5510, which you're going for like 6 figures now. Only like that watch is just super appreciated in price. The watch is water resistant to 200 meters with a triple gasket screw down big crown, which they really wanted to reflect that older model, that 6538. And what else? Oh, the bracelet. Let's check out the bracelet, shall we? This video is going to be super long, guys. I'm very sorry. Here's the bracelet. So they really wanted to get the bracelet right as well. They didn't want to just get the watch and the case and the dial right, but they wanted to get the bracelet right. So they went with a rivet style bracelet, just like the older models, not the older models, but just like the models that this pays tribute to. And it's very thin and light, but it does feel very taut and doesn't make a lot of noise. So these are screws instead of actual rivets, but you know, they work just fine. They do the job. You're gonna need a screwdriver on both sides to get them off, though. The end links are solid, and it is a very well done bracelet. It is as correct as they can have gotten it, while still having a little bit of modern touches to it. Just a slight, like the screws are just a little bit of more modern touch. And it's a well done bracelet. Some people complain about it and they say it's light and tinny, but that's not because it's junk. It's a high quality bracelet, but it's because they want it to be correct. They wanted it to be period correct. They wanted it to be accurate, an accurate representation of the watches that this pays tribute to. So really want this watch. Really not jealous of my buddy, but I'm actually just really stoked that he has it and that I have the opportunity to play with it for a little while. Like this is unheard of. Like who lets their friends borrow such an amazing piece, right? I mean, that's great. So what else do we have to talk about? Let's see, I think I pretty much touched on everything here. Let's get to the measurements here. The case is 39.2, lug to lug is 47.95, lug width is 20 millimeters, and thickness is 14.5 millimeters. So you can be sure that these are accurate measurements. I don't need to bust out the caliper for this one, and I won't because I don't want to scratch it up, even though I have tape on the plastic caliper. But that's not going to happen with this watch. Sorry. But see, this watch was created by a watch enthusiast for watch enthusiasts. So you know the measurements are going to be super accurate. So let's check out the Lume, shall we? And we're going to put the ISO to 1600 to reflect what's coming out of my face balls into my brain. I'm going to use my X-Tar WK42, super awesome little light, and we're gonna give it some we're gonna put it on blast, guys. We're gonna put it on blast. It's a life of thugs. And then that's it. So Mark II says this will last about 6 or 7 hours, and it does have that beautiful blue hue to it. It's very, very nice. It's not the super brightest, but it is nice, and I really, really like it. Gosh, this watch is just great in so many ways, guys. I really, really like this watch. So that's a Lume. I'm not going to spend too much time on that. Put the light back on, put the ISO back on. So there's not really much else I can talk about. I'll just let you guys look at it for a couple seconds before the intro, the intro, the outro, and that's my review. Thanks for watching. I forgot to show the back of the watch, so yeah, there it is.